Hey everyone, I am your astrologer Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights, and I'm back with another pick a card reading, this time with tarot. This time the theme that I'm doing the pick a card on is what is your blind spot, or what are you not seeing right now in your life? The reason why I've chosen that theme in particular is because at the time that I'm filming this, we are currently really coming to the end of Mercury retrograde, so I thought that it could help us with what this Mercury retrograde has been all about and what the themes are there. Although I suppose I should note that this reading is timeless. So if you're finding this and it's not Mercury retrograde, then that's okay too. Trust that whenever you find this video, it is meant for you, even though I am filming this just with an intention based on the current retrograde about our blind spots. So that's what this video is about. Let's go ahead and let's hop right in. We've got 3 piles here. This is pile number 1. It's the Crystal Unicorn Tarot with, I believe this is flower agate, also called cherry blossom agate. We've got the Starseeker Tarot here with chrysoprase. And we've got the Queen Alice Tarot here, the 3rd pile, with, I'm actually not quite sure what stone this is. I've had this one for a while, so I don't remember what I was thinking when I bought it, but I still have it around and it's very pretty. It's like some kind of blue stone. That is going to be here. If you know the name of this one, please feel free to put it in the comments. It's like blue speckled, but I have no clue. For some reason, I keep thinking this is like lepidolite or some kind of jasper, but I couldn't find anything that looked like this online when I Googled that. So that's where we are. But please feel free to go ahead and pick your pile. There's really no right or wrong answer. It's just based on your intuition and what you feel drawn towards the most. You know, it could be visually, could just be intuitively, doesn't matter, just go with what you feel, and hopefully it'll have a message for you. If the pile that you choose doesn't have a message that you feel resonates with you, then please feel free to pick any of the other piles as well, and if none of those piles resonate with you either, then maybe this video doesn't have a message for you, which is totally fine, because there are a lot of other great tarot readers on YouTube as well whose videos you can check out who might have something to help you at this time. Okay, but without further ado, let's go ahead and let's hop in. I'm going to start with this first pile right here, the Crystal Unicorn Tarot with the flower agate, and put these away. Let me see if I can get these out of the scene here. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's start. Yeah, let me put this just so you all can see it right there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start shuffling. All right. Oh, nice. This never happens, I should note, when I shuffle for myself. Like when I ask my own questions to Spirit doing tarot, no cards fly out. I'm just like shuffling for hours until I'm like, give me an answer, and just pull a card myself. But I'm glad that Spirit has a lot to say for people other than me. All right, so maybe this is good. Maybe we should go ahead and start here. What do we have? This is the first one that came out. We've got the World upright. We've got this one here, the 10 of Pentacles upright. Wow, both of these are very good cards. We've got the Emperor reversed, and we've also got the 5 of Swords upright. So what does this mean to me so far? It means to me that actually, pile 1, I think that you're in a pretty good place. If you ask me, it does seem to indicate with the 10 of Pentacles that you're on top of your shit, if you will. The 10 of Pentacles to me is a card that tends to have a lot of things in order, especially in your physical reality. This to me could really run the whole gamut, but definitely could indicate finances being very well in order. Maybe you've been working really hard on that over the course of the past few months. If not finances, it could just indicate things with home and family, or with your physical reality, just feeling like it is set for you in some way, and like you are because of that, because you are on top of your stuff and have a lot of your especially material and physical reality together, that it is helping you to really close out one old cycle of your life, bring something to completion, and step into a whole new world, if you will, and move forward. But even though that to me does look like the case, I do get the feeling here that maybe you don't see just how successful you are in some way, or how well off financially you are, or how much your material reality is in order. That's because we've got the Emperor reversed here, and the Emperor reversed to me does indicate that maybe you still feel disempowered in some way. You still don't feel like everything is where it needs to be. And you're still with the Five of Swords, like fighting to get what you need, fighting to make things come together here. Or maybe you feel like other people are fighting against you as well. And I think the main thing that I'm seeing so far from these cards is like the thing that you're not seeing is like how good you're doing. Like the thing that you're not seeing is that you really are in a good place, or a fine place, and how much you really are being taken care of with where you are, because it does seem, that there's like a little bit of a lack of empowerment here. And it doesn't necessarily look like it's coming from your external reality. It looks like yourself, a lack of personal empowerment, a lack of personal strength, a lack of self-confidence here. That really is the issue in a lot of ways, preventing you from moving forward. I also get the sense too of like the sense of like striving, like I'm not good enough. I didn't do better. Maybe there's some shame and some guilt as well around what you have. Maybe you have super high expectations as well that are kind of unrealistic. And I think Spirit is saying like, why are you freaking out? Why are you freaking out? You're doing just fine. You're doing better than fine. You're doing better than you think. And to really accept that, because it seems like you are your own worst enemy here. I think that's the main message. Okay, we've got the Three of Swords next, which is the Heartbreak card. We've got the Five of Cups upright, also kind of a very sad, emotional heartbreak card as well. And we've got the Knight of Wands here upright. So it does indicate to me here that maybe like something difficult did happen in your past. I mean, what hasn't over the course of the past few years, especially while Saturn and Pluto has been conjunct for like most of 2019 and 2020. So it does seem like something difficult has happened in your past. I will say this to me actually doesn't feel material. It feels more heartbreak. It feels more emotional in some way, the loss of a relationship, maybe even the loss or death of a family member or friend in some way, shape, or form. So I do feel like you have been hurt emotionally very badly because of something that did not quite work out according as we would have liked, according to plan in the past. And maybe because you have been hurt so bad emotionally, you've been putting the emotions to the side and focusing on the material world. And just spirit is really trying to say like, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Stop. First of all, realize how good you got it. Realize how good you are, how good you've been, with no guilt, with no shame, with no lack of confidence. It's time to get rid of that. And second of all, stop looking back at the past, because you looking back at like this emotional heartbreak or this thing that didn't work out is really preventing you from seizing the opportunities that are in front of you, and not only seeing how good you have it, but seizing the goodness of what's in front of you and maximizing it and making it into more of what it really can be. That's positive. The Knight of Wands to me too does indicate that there is so much good potential. There's so much you can do with what you have. And maybe that's also what you don't see as well, because you're so much doubting your progress, or just like are aiming for some kind of perfection, some kind of crazy goal that doesn't really exist. And because you're so focused on this past heartbreak that you're not really doing the moves that you need to move forward. You're kind of neglecting like doing some things that would be good for you. And they, to me, seem like very passionate things, like things that you're going to love, things that you're excited about in some kind of way here. So I think there's also a need for some of you to recognize that you're not seeing how much, not only how good you got it and how much hard work you've done and how much it's paid off to get you to where you are now, but that there's so much more you can do with what you have or add on to what you have in order to bring things together even better. And the thing about doing more that you could do, like the adding on more things or working more with what you have, is not like something you should have to think hard about. Like think about and like really focus on like whatever you need to do with whatever you've built and wherever you are right now is something that should come really naturally and really easily and be really exciting for you. I just feel like it's hard for you to really see that because you're so focused on this old heartbreak that really isn't around and that you've really overcome. And because you're just you're doubting so many things about yourself when you're really fine. But the minute that you stop focusing on this old stuff and doubting yourself and like punishing yourself for no reason, then all of a sudden opportunities are going to open up. I really do feel it. Opportunities are going to open up and you're going to be able to use what it is that you already have for better. And it's not going to be a hard, arduous process of like, what do I do with what I already have? It's going to be something really easy, really smooth, that's going to come together, that you're just going to know what to do and to move forward on. Because I also get the sense like the wands to me in some ways are kind of instinctual, intuitive cards. And with the Knight of Wands here, I do get the sense that there is something like waiting for you to kind of like seize it, if you will. You just have to like unclutter a lot of your mind so that you can do it. Another way of putting it, pile one, is that you're so focused on surviving some past heartbreak which you've already survived quite successfully, that you're not focusing on living. You're not focusing on living life. And what is living life? It's on enjoying life and doing what makes you happy, whether that's just having more fun or getting out there again and dating and doing other things. Like you're not focusing on that. And I think that's one of the big messages of this pile, is that you need to stop surviving and start living once again, and getting out there. Because you're ready, you're truly ready. You have done all the work to overcome this old heartbreak, to make sense of it, and to get yourself financially and physically secure and stable. And now you're truly ready here to move on and to see that and to bring more joy back into your life. Because I do feel like with the Ten of Pentacles present, that you have been really trying to get yourself stable after this heartbreak, that you have neglected a lot of things close to your heart, like that would truly light you up about life and that would truly make you passionate in order to get your bearings after this hard time. And you're not seeing that now is the moment. Now is the moment to start living again, to start doing more of your passions and to bring more of your heart and soul back into your plans for life now that you're more set. All right, so I think that's what I've got there. Now I'm just going to pull some other a card from another deck. This is going to be the Dream Decoder deck. It's actually not a tarot deck or an oracle deck. This is a deck about like your dreams, meanings of the dreams that you have when you're sleeping. But I really liked it for giving like good, unique messages. So I like to use it this way. So we'll start with this one. Wow, this one's already an intense one. I like to pull the bottom one as well. What have we got here? Let me slide these back up. Gosh, we've got sex. Dreams about sex aren't really about the physical act. They are more about your desire for greater connection and intimacy. May include a craving for more physical closeness, but the main emphasis is likely to be emotional. So what this means to me, I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like there was some kind of ending already of a relationship in the past that with this card makes me seem that it's more sexual than the loss of a friend or a family member. And I think what this card is trying to say, that once you forget this old relationship and the heartbreak that came from it and realize that like you've done just fine to recover from that and that you're in a good place, like you have recovered from that old relationship and you are in a good place. And once you stop punishing yourself for whatever happened in this relationship and just accept where you are and believe in yourself and focus on your passions, like I do feel that either a new relationship is like very closely around the corner to you to come into the picture. A new romantic one in particular with this card that is going to bring more of the emotional like connection that it is that maybe you lost or were hoping for, and bring it in a better way. If this isn't sexual, even though clearly there's an obvious emphasis on that, if you can read the words on this card and like look at the image, then what could just be happening is if some of you aren't attracting in like a sexual romantic relationship very, very, very soon. I mean, and with the Knight of Wands here, which to me can also be a bit of a sexual card, then some of you could just be attracting in people that you have a lot of chemistry with, you know, friends, coworkers, business partners that you have a lot of chemistry with as well in order to move forward. Because with the Ten of Pentacles, I'm not going to lie, being present in the world, there is this feeling of like having everything, the world, except the emotional connection. Sometimes the Ten of Pentacles can indicate success at the cost of emotions. So I do feel like some of you are missing that. You're missing that like emotional intimacy with another person. And the message here is that the emotional intimacy with another person, if you're looking for that, is like super, super close. Like it's around, it's super close. I think it can happen a lot more quickly and a lot faster than you think. You just have to stop focusing on this whole heartbreak, stop reading the past into the future, like stop beating yourself up over what happened, stop thinking you're less than what you really are, and see how much you've recovered from that and how much stronger you are and how much you've grown and how much you've accomplished. And trust yourself, learn to love and learn to trust yourself again. And you doing that is going to bring that emotional connection, perhaps that you lost. And I think bring it in a better way, more successful, like more true to who it is that you are now that you're back in order, or you're in a better order than you were before the relationship ended with that last person. So I think that's what I'm going to say there. This card is numbers. Numbers in a dream can be significant. Some initial possibilities to consider are house or apartment numbers, phone numbers, and meaningful dates like birthdays or anniversaries. So, I mean, numbers. I don't know. I mean, maybe this is that some of you need to contact somebody. I mean, Mercury retrograde is about to end. Now would probably be a better time to contact someone than the past few days. But it does indicate to me that maybe there is someone you need to reach out to, or maybe there's someone you're about to meet that you're going to get their number from, like to call. That's the way that I'm feeling this card, in order to bring things forward, because there is a huge amount about connection. I am feeling that some of you don't feel connected, and that's another message for you. You need to reach out. Not only do you need to stop looking back at the past because you've grown now and you're stronger, and not only do you need to stop doubting your intuition and your success and your power and whether or not you're strong enough again to go out there, but you need to see that you were in a good place. You need to trust your intuition. You need to focus on your heart, your love, your passion, and reach out to people to connect, because people want to help you. People that you have chemistry with just in general, or a romantic partner very, very soon for you, that I do think can happen pretty quickly, or pretty quickly, whatever pace you want it to happen. If you just stop getting in the way, like I feel like you are your own worst enemy here. Is definitely the big message. You are your own worst enemy, slowing a lot of things down that really are good, that have already happened, and that are still happening, and even that have yet to happen, like very soon, you know. Here we are. I'm thinking that we're coming to the end of like setting up some new chapter in life, and you've got some more, it looks like, new things, new blessings to bring into your life, and they look like related to people, things that can bring you connections, positive connections, passion, excitement, love, heart, you know, and really be in touch with your emotions. Okay, now let's pull one of these. This is the Iris Oracle. Okay. Another one I love. We've got here Party leader. Okay, so this to me indicates that some of you, this 10 of Pentacles, man, some of you are not, have been too uptight and have not been letting yourself have fun. Have been too uptight and not been letting yourself have fun because you're so scared of the past repeating itself, of getting your heart broken again, of this old person, an old thing that really doesn't feel like it's in your life or is either quickly leaving your life. Like you're worried about that. And I'm just getting this sense of like, you need to let go of the fear, the guilt, the shame. You're not doing it. You need to let go of the heartbreak, all of that, and see just how good you got it and how far you've come since then and how much potential is in front of you and how many new situations that are going to be happy for you are on the horizon. And look at this card, Death of the Deceitful. Some of these people from your past that you just can't get past were really deceitful to you and were really revengeful in some way, really hurtful. And that's dying. That's dying. The old relationship is dying. The old revengeful people in your life who are just mean to you, that's on its way out. I just can't say it enough. That's on its way out. You need to see that. You need to see that. Open your eyes and realize that better connections are very soon, like right around the corner for you, that are not going to be deceitful. They're going to be the opposite of that old situation because of how far you have come since then. And the card at the bottom of the deck is sitting on top of the world. I think you're already sitting on top of the world and you don't even see it. Okay. But I think there's even more of the world. You get two cards that have the world sitting on top of the world here and then the world. But I think there's even more of the world that's at your palms. It's at your fingertips that you have yet to grasp. That's still for the taking. That's calling your name. Okay. I'll pull one more card. Or a few more from this deck, and then I'll summarize. So let's do that. All right, Spirit, any more messages for pile number one? Anything else pile number one needs to know? Okay. All right, you too. I'll probably look at this one. Serenity. Okay, let's start there. Some of you need to find your inner peace. You need to find your inner peace, your inner calm, because you are making up worst case scenarios that are not going to come true, never going to come true. Maybe they came true in the past, not going to come true anymore. You need to find your inner calm because you have so much abundance on the way very soon. What have I been seeing? So much abundance coming very, very, very soon here. That I think that we've got teach next. You've got so much abundance coming soon. And in this next relationship, because I do think you've got one coming, and whatever happens next, you're going to be able to use everything that you learned from this past experience to create something with someone else that to me looks even better than what it was, because you have a lot of wisdom now from these old experiences so that you won't repeat them again. So I think that's what I have there. If I like to repeat things. If you watch my astrology videos before I go, so I'm just going to do that. What I think is going on for you, pile one, is that you are in a really, really good place, especially financially, especially when it comes to your stability, especially when it comes to your home, your material needs in some way, shape, or form, but you do not see it. You do not see how good of a spot you are in and how much in charge and in control and on top of your shit you truly are. You don't see it because you're too attached to old heartbreak from the past that I think is really gone or is on the way out and is not coming back. You're too attached, you're too scared that this old heartbreak is going to repeat itself in the future. So you're not seeing just how far you have come since that heartbreak and how in a good place you are. Not only are you too focused on all this past stuff, pile one, that's with this heartbreak that's not going to happen again, but you're also doubting your progress. You're doubting how far it is that you really have come. You're fighting against yourself. You're your own worst enemy. You're telling yourself you're not good enough. You're not perfect enough. That's also making it really, really hard for you to see that you are sitting on a gold mine. You are sitting on top of the world here, and that there is even more of the gold mine and even more that the world has to offer, even more abundance right at your fingertips, which I do think is going to lead to a lot of passion once you can open your eyes and see how good you got it and how far you've come. There's a lot of passion right around the corner for you, a lot of excitement, a lot more new adventures, particularly for you, pile one, relationships. Could be any kind of relationship that you've got in your future here that that could be someone that you feel connected with and there's a lot of chemistry with, but I'm definitely feeling a huge sexual relationship coming for you soon with someone that that you may need to call or contact if you already know them with the numbers card, or that you may meet very soon and need to get their number from in order to bring things together here. And you really need to learn to trust your intuition again, and to trust life again, and to find your inner calm and peace so that you can take these opportunities when they present itself and take what you have so far and maximize it, and connect with the people that you need to connect with without shutting down and reading the past and the future, because it's not going to happen. All right. So that's what it is there. I actually feel like that was like a really simple message, pile one. You're just not seeing how far you've come and how good you got it here. And that's causing all the problems because you keep thinking you're missing something when you're not. You keep thinking you're not as good as you when you are. And that's the issue. So hopefully once you fix that, once you see how good you are, things will improve. All right, that's what I'm going to say there, pile one. I hope that was helpful for you. I'm now going to hop into pile two. So thanks for watching. All right, pile two. You are here, the Starseeker Tarot. Let me put this one away. Sorry. You are the Starseeker Tarot with the chrysoprase. There we are. Okay, so I'll put that there. What does pile two, what is their blind spot? What do they need to know? What are they not seeing? What are they missing? Okay, we're gonna take these, but leave these out. We've got the 10 of Wands upright so far. Whoops. You can see that. We've got the 2 of Swords reversed. So what does that mean to me? That means to me that some of you feel burdened, overwhelmed, and can't make a decision about what to do, about what to do to release some of these responsibilities and burdens that you have, or about which ones to focus on. Okay, so let me maybe start with these since we've got a few more cards since then. Okay. Let's go to this one. We've got the Knight of Wands reversed, which is interesting. We had the Knight of Wands upright and pile one, so you're getting the opposite of that. So what does this mean to me? Yeah, I'm definitely feeling you've got so many things going on right now that you're having trouble focusing, and that you're having trouble picking one thing that it is that you really want to do, and you're feeling overburdened and unsure, and there's a lack of passion and a lack of excitement and maybe even a lack of action. You know, it's hard to act when you got so many things weighing you down and so many things you're indecisive about. What do we have next? The 9 of Cups upright. Oh, I like that one. The 9 of Cups is very, very good. Emotional fulfillment. We've got the Star reversed. What does this mean to me? The 9 of Cups. I think this means to me here, especially because the 2 of Swords is reversed, that I think you're carrying a lot more responsibility and a lot more weight than you need to be carrying, and I don't think you see that. I think you think, pile two, that all the things that you're doing you have to do. You think like, I have to take care of this person, and I have to take out the trash, and I have to do this, and I have to pay all these bills, and I have to do that. And I think the message of these cards is like, you don't have to do nearly as much as you think you have to do, and you don't see it. You think you've got all these people that rely on you and all these things, and you can easily, more easily than you think, remove yourself from their responsibilities. All you have to do is just say the word. All you have to do is just say the word, like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, I don't want to do this anymore, or, you know, I want to do something else, or make another arrangement in some way. And I think that's what you're not seeing. That's going to fix a lot of things. Not only do all you have to do is just simply like remove yourself from half of these burdens by putting boundaries in place and just telling people no, just saying no, just turning things down. But I think there's also a need to go inwards to understand more about your soul and your intuition here, and what you're really feeling and what would make you feel the most happy and the most content. Because maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe part of the problem is not that you're carrying too much burdens and that you're not telling people no and putting the boundaries in place, but maybe the problem as well is that you don't even know which one of the things that you're doing you actually want to carry, you actually want to move forward on, because you've lost touch with like your emotions and this really sensitive part of yourself and your intuition that can help you figure things out. So I think that's the message for you, the two distinct ones so far. Like, you're carrying way too many burdens, many of which aren't yours. A lot of them, well, you first need to figure out which of the things you are carrying you truly feel connected to, and your heart truly wants to continue, that would make you happy. And those things you want to continue, you have to keep. And the things you don't want to continue, you simply just have to say no to, or to put a boundary to, and that'll fix a lot for you, and you'll be fine. Maybe, and I'm also feeling that some of you are probably watching this video right now and being like, you don't understand, Wonder Girl, you don't understand. I can't just say no to this responsibility. I can't just say no to this thing. And I still hold true to what I'm saying. You can get out of it. If you really wanted to get out of these responsibilities that are weighing you down, you really could do it. So you telling yourself like, oh, I can't do it, it's not true. It's not true. If you really wanted to get out of certain things, you could do it. You could find the right person. You could find the right resource to shuffle things around, and you're not seeing it, and you need to. Okay. And because you're not seeing that, you need to really hone in and focus on the things you do want to do and cut out the things that you don't want to do. You're feeling like you aren't in the right place at the right time. You just feel like out of sorts, like lost in the universe, like lost, like God or spirit has forgotten you. And another thing that you're not seeing is that like God spirit hasn't forgotten about you. God's spirit is there, but he's not going to do for you what you can do for yourself. And you can easily, like, God will do for you what you can't do for yourself, but what you can do for yourself and what you need to do for yourself at this time is pick and choose very carefully what you devote your time and attention to, what you want to devote your time and attention to, and then get rid of the rest or outsource the rest, in order to move forward. And it may not feel that good to have to outsource things, tell people no in some way, to take your power back. It may not feel good to have to turn people down. Maybe you might feel a guilt or shame that you can't do these things that you think you should do that really are not your responsibility, but there is a strong need for it to be done because you're like drowning. I mean, this is the Knight of Wands, and it's kind of a funny Knight of Wands in this deck because the Knight of Wands is supposed to be a very fiery card, but she's diving into the water. It's like a mermaid diving into the water, and it's reversed. So you are drowning. I feel like you are drowning in work responsibility, whatever way. I mean, this can be work and responsibility for a business that you own. It could be work and responsibility to a boss for your job. It could be work and responsibility to a family. It could be work and responsibility to a spouse or someone that you're dating. And the message, whatever the work and the responsibility that you're drowning in, is that you need to figure out real fast what you actually want to be doing, what you actually want to commit to, that makes your heart sing, that makes your heart happy, and then do that and say no to everything else. And that saying no and putting in boundaries is necessary. It's not going to feel right at first, but it's going to be easier than you think and just what you need in order to move things forward. We've got the Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck. The Three of Cups to me does indicate that you need more joy in your life. And that's really important. It also to me indicates friends. Friends may be very, very useful to you. Friends, colleagues, coworkers, connections may be very, very, very helpful for you to reach out to as well. Because maybe that's another message. Not only do some of you not see that you're not focusing on the right things, you're focusing on too many things that you shouldn't be focusing on, and that you can get rid of them a lot easier than you think, but that friends are more willing to help. Maybe some of you feel like, oh, I'm all alone. It's all alone. It's just me. If I don't do these things, no one else is going to do them. They're not going to get done. Everything's going to fall apart. And another message is you're not seeing that they're not. They're not. If you stop doing a bunch of responsibilities, someone else is going to do them. Someone else is just going to force someone else to do them, probably in a good way, or someone else is there to help you. And that's okay, and that they're probably not as urgent as you think they are anyways. So let some things go and delegate and look for friends, colleagues, acquaintances here in order to help take some of the burden off. Okay. Now I'm going to pull some other cards. I like these cards, the Dream Decoder, that I just recently got. This is actually not an oracle deck. It is a deck that just really talks about the kind of dreams that you might have when you sleep and their meanings, but it actually works really well as an oracle deck and gives a bunch of like unique messages that you wouldn't get through other oracle decks. And that's what I really like. Like I'm really picky about oracle decks because so many of them to me are so generic and they all say the same thing, but I like this way because it feels kind of unique to me. Okay, so we've got this one, aliens and robots. Sorry, that means so much to me. Aliens and or UFOs in a dream may indicate your desire to escape reality. Perhaps your mind is visionary in character. Your imagination can take you beyond the limits of the ordinary, but your abundant creativity is having problems fitting in with worldly expectations. What were we saying about taking on too much? We've also got castles, ancient buildings, tombs. Castles were built to protect. So what this means to me is this: you are just going through the robots is what stood out to me the most from this card. I feel like you are just going through the motions because you are so overwhelmed with what you have going on the day-to-day. You are going through the motions of life. You are feeling not even human. You're feeling unhuman. You're feeling like a robot because of everything that has to get done here, and because you're neglecting your alien side. You're neglecting your unique creativity. And the message here is, yeah, you strong need here to figure out what you want to do and focus on that and get rid of everything else with boundaries, because it's going to be necessary and a lot easier than you think, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. And to me, this card also emphasizes that too, the castles, if you can see, because it talks about how castles are built to protect, and how castles put up barriers. You know, like a lot of times in like the fairy tales and stuff, you'll see castles with a moat around them to protect yourself from invaders and to put a barrier there. And this is another thing. You need to protect your energy, pile two. You're not protecting your energy. You're not protecting your space. And I don't think you see that you're not doing that you're not protecting and putting the boundaries in. And because you don't see it, it's creating all this weird havoc in the rest of your life that appears nonsensical, but actually it stems from this. Okay. You need to break free from restrictions and do more of what is going to set your soul free. Okay, now let's pull another deck. This is the Iris Oracle. Okay, oh, interesting. We've got Someone Soon and Labyrinth. Wow, that's kind of interesting. The Someone Soon is definitely interesting, but the Labyrinth, to me, I'll go there first, kind of fits in with the Castles card. Do they? I guess they kind of look similar in some kind of way, even though this one's just like doodles. Labyrinth, to me, it definitely indicates protection as well, because usually when I think of labyrinth, I think of like going through some kind of like confusing maze to prevent you from getting to the outcome, like the destination. So I'm feeling for sure you need boundaries, you need barriers, you need lots of protection, physical protection of your time and your space, and spiritual protection from to call your emotional energy back as well from some of these other things. Because, right, I mean, you not putting in these barriers is getting you into a tizzy. It's making your mind a maze and like very confusing. So there's that. And then the Someone Soon is another indicator that someone is going to help you very soon, that there's going to be someone to take your load off sooner than you think in order to move forward. I'm not going to lie. Maybe just a compare and contrast between pile 1 and pile 2, even though I know that you chose pile 2. Pile 1's felt very romantic in a lot of ways, if you will. Pile 1 felt very much so like they were overcoming a romantic heartbreak and are actually stepping into another romance pretty soon. This doesn't feel romantic to you. Like, this doesn't feel romantic. Whatever's going on in your life does not feel romantic. It feels like either there's either there's a romance you need to get out of, or a job you need to get out of, or just a bunch of responsibilities you get out of, and the person that's coming into your life to help doesn't feel romantic. It feels a friend. Like, that's the key word for you, pile 2. It's not that you're getting into another romance. It's that a friend, a colleague, an acquaintance, someone like that. They're not romantic. It's just a friend, colleague, or acquaintance. Someone in that that kind of relationship to you is coming into the picture, and to accept that help. Okay. So that's what I have to say there. Yeah, it does not feel romantic. Definitely not for your pile. It feels more work, more responsibilities. And if this is a romance that you're in, it doesn't feel like a pleasant one. So you need to get out of that. Get out of a romance you don't want to be in. Get out of a work responsibility you don't want to be in. Get out of a job you don't want to be in. Get out of a family obligation you don't want to be in. You need to get out of it if you don't really want it, and say no and put up boundaries and do more what you want to do. And once you do that, you'll find that other people are quickly going to be there to take over your slack or to help you. Again, in a more platonic kind of way, in order to take you out of this maze you have created for your own self, this labyrinth, this trap that you've created in yourself, and help you move forward. I'm going to get one more card, even though I think we've covered a good bit here. But I do like to, I had these planned. I had these decks planned, so let's do it. We've got learn. You know, it's kind of funny. Pile 1 got teach and you got learn. So I almost feel like some of you need to learn from pile 1. Pile 1 has come a long way after dealing with some hardship, especially some heartbreak, and has come a long way at putting boundaries in place and getting their shit together. And I feel like you need to learn how to get your shit together here. And getting your shit together in this instance is not by taking on more stuff, and it's not by buckling down and working harder. Getting your shit together, pile 2, comes from letting things go. Like, letting things go. You're doing way too much. So that's what you need to open your eyes and see, because some of you feel like, I think it just came to me, some of you feel like being responsible or getting your act together, it means taking on more responsibilities. And the lesson that I think you're trying to learn here, pile 2, is that doing more responsibilities does not make you more responsible, especially if you can't handle the responsibilities you already have. It makes you less responsible. Sometimes the most responsible thing you can do is say no, is put up a boundary, is let something go. And you need to realize that at this time. I knew you were going to get this card. I knew you were going to get it. I just felt it. Ask, and you need to ask for help. You need to ask for help and stop doing everything by yourself. Asking for help does not make you weak. It makes you stronger, because it shows you have an honest awareness of your strengths and of your weaknesses and of what it is that you can actually handle. And that makes you more respectable when you know yourself and what you're capable of and what you're not, and can manage that and work around that better. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to say there. Maybe just to repeat before we go, even though I think the message is clear, pile 2, but you know I like to do this. What is going on in your life is that you're taking on too much responsibilities with work, with friends, with family, with romance, in whatever way, shape, or form that you do not need to take on, that is not meant for you, that is wearing you down, making you feel unprotected, unsafe, confused, tired all the time, in a maze. And you need to let a lot of these responsibilities go that you do not want to go, by saying no, by putting in the boundaries. And not only do you need to let a lot of those responsibilities go, you need to do more of the ones that you actually want to do. And then delegate everything else, and delegate and ask for help, and do that. And once you let go of things you don't want to do and do more things you want to do, and delegate and ask for help, then you're going to find that things are actually going to be much, much, much better. That people are going to want to help more than you think, and are going to be able to pick up your slack, and that things are going to work much better, and that you're going to learn a lot of important lessons here about what responsibility actually is and what it actually looks like in a healthier way. Okay, so that's what I'll say there. This is not a bad thing, pile 2. I want to be clear. It's not a bad thing to let go of responsibilities. It's not a bad thing, and you don't have bad things coming, right? Because once you let go of the responsibilities, someone's going to be there to catch you, and someone's going to be there to help you, you know, and someone's going to, but you have to let go of the responsibility first and kind of struggle through that awkwardness about it before things start to come together. So yeah, you're not seeing how you're creating too many problems for yourself by taking too many responsibilities, not doing what you want to do, and not asking for help. So that's it. Hope that was helpful for you. And I'll talk to you later, pile 2. I'm now going to go into pile 3. Let me get organized here really quickly. Get this out of the way. And let's put that there. All right. Let's go to the last pile, pile 3. We've got the Queen Alice Tarot here, and we've got the mystery crystal, the mystery blue crystal. That's really pretty. I'll put it right here. Okay, so what are you not seeing? What is pile 3 not seeing clearly, or what is their blind spot? This is an Alice in Wonderland themed tarot deck. Really excited about it. I feel like Alice in Wonderland has been like my life lately. Like nothing makes sense anymore. Okay. Alice is shy today. Maybe it needs me to flip the deck. So let's see. It's all right, we got all day. All right, man, we've got 2 major arcana so far. I'm gonna get a few more. Wow, another major arcana. Wow, pile 3, this is pretty significant. Did pile 2, I don't think pile 2 had any major arcana, and pile 1 had 1 major arcana, so definitely a big deal. Pile 3, I feel like, always seems to get like these really intense messages. But here we are again. Oops. Okay, that's enough for now. Justice was the first card that came out upright. Then we had the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Then we have the Hierophant upright. Do I want to look at these cards yet, or is there something I want to say about this so far? It does seem to be like something, balance is a big theme for you clearly with Justice when it comes to really different all parts of your life, at least of right now. I don't know, I haven't looked at these other cards. Could be relationships, could be money, could be, you know, your routines. It looks like there's something with balance here that you've been trying to get in your life and in your relationships for quite some time that maybe does not seem to be working entirely. It's kind of interesting because I'm filming this on a Libra moon, which is about balance, right? About justice and fairness, and the bird is holding, you know, some scales there. So kind of interesting. Maybe before I talk more about that, because the Hierophant is speaking to me. I'm going to look at this. We've got the 9 of Wands, oops, reversed. We've got the 6 of Cups reversed. Oh man, which goes to me with the Justice, and we've got the 4 of Swords upright. So this is what this means to me. I'm not going to talk about cards in particular. Perhaps I'm just going to say it. I feel like I feel like this, either something in your life is out of balance, like a money situation or a work situation, or if it's not that, I feel like someone has done you dirty. Someone has done you dirty, a relationship in the past that has not been right, that you're still kind of stuck in. You're stuck in this imbalanced situation or this imbalanced relationships, perhaps from your past, that has not fixed themselves, that has not turned around in the way that you might like. Like maybe you've been trying to rebalance these old things. Maybe you've been trying to reach out to old people to fix things. Maybe they've been trying to reach out to you. Maybe you feel so wronged by an old person, you just don't want to fix things. I don't know. It just has not been going right. And I think that you've been feeling really frustrated. Like, what more can I do? What more can I do to rebalance, to rebalance all my areas of my life and to fix this relationship thing? Like, I've done everything I can do and it's still not working. And I feel like it feels like crazy town, right? Because this is the Alice in Wonderland tarot. It's like everything feels upside down, like, and weird. Like when someone says yes, they mean no, and like nothing goes according to plan. And I feel like you are just so exhausted with the Four of Swords here. You're like, I just don't know what to do because these old situations just will not turn around and become more balanced. And it's been really hard for you and you feel really stuck. And the Hierophant to me stands out as the answer, like the thing that you're missing. And I think the thing that you're missing, and this probably isn't what you want to hear, is that this is going to take either a little bit longer to fix, like a little bit longer to fully fix this balance. Because the Hierophant to me does things slower, if you will, because in some ways I think it's correlated to Taurus. It does things slower and it does things in a more traditional kind of way. So it does indicate to me that this imbalance for you may take more time than just Mercury retrograde eclipses to fix. It may require you to do things in a more traditional kind of way, like through the court systems, you know, like some of you, not this isn't going to work for all of you, but some of you may have an imbalance with a relationship that still needs more time to work itself out in the courts, or that you may need to start some kind of court proceeding over. But there needs to be an awareness here that things take time and that this is going to need more time. Going to need more time, and going to need not only more time, but like more seriousness, if you will, and more diligence and more integrity. I'm not saying that you haven't had integrity on your part. I think a lot of you really have been honestly trying to figure things out, but I'm getting the sense, like when I say integrity, the way I really mean it is like more note taking. Like I feel like some of you are going to need to be more disciplined, like if it's a routine that's out of balance, some of you are really going to need to keep better track of your time. Like, what do I do this time of the day? What do I do this time of the day? What do I do this time? You know, to really kind of get on a more traditional work schedule. If it's not the routine that's out of balance, maybe it's the money that's out of balance, and you need to realize the money's going to take more time, and to do it in a more traditional way, to really keep track of everything that comes into your account and everything that goes out. If this is a relationship that's a problem and the relationship hasn't been resolved, then this is also a message to realize it's going to take more time and to keep track of everything that is or is not said. You know, especially if you're going to court with somebody, right? There's a need to keep track of, like, they said this, they didn't say this, they told me that, they didn't tell me that. Like, keep strong records here of maybe if it's not written recordings, audio recordings of your conversations here with people, so that you can play it back to them so that they can really understand here, like, what is going on. I feel there's a strong need for that there as well. The Hierophant too can also be about initiations into like different ways of being. So maybe this traditional way isn't something you're used to doing, or this longer, more dedicated approach, but there's something about that. This also to me can indicate like groups of people, because typically the Hierophant is like a religious leader of some sort, like in the tarot. So it also indicates to me that some of you may need to connect with some kind of community or group of people in order to help sustain you through this longer process of rebalancing things in some ways. This can mean like a group of entrepreneurs. So say your job is a problem. Maybe you need to connect to a group of entrepreneurs who are like your age and your biz to help you fix your job. Or maybe if it's not a group of entrepreneurs, maybe you need to connect with like a professional association that can help you move forward. If it's not a job situation, if it's a financial thing, then maybe you need to connect with like more financial Facebook groups, you know, or more financial resources on the internet that can help you better work that stuff out. If this is a court thing and a relationship thing, then maybe you need more support groups for relationships online. If you've been abused by someone, or if there's a court case that you're still working through, maybe there's something like that. This doesn't feel one-on-one, because this is a Hierophant, so it doesn't quite feel like you're reaching out to someone one-on-one, but it does look like there is some kind of group or support group or professional association that you may need to look into. One-on-one relationships may come out of that group association that you eventually connect with. They may come out of that, but to me, the main message here is to just get your foot in the door with a group association here. And maybe the Mercury retrograde thing, if you're watching this at the time that I'm uploading it, maybe the Mercury retrograde thing is indicating that there's already a group, a professional group that you, or a support group that you've already kind of connected with, but maybe you need to connect with it more. Maybe you already kind of connected with some kind of support group, professional group in the past, so maybe you kind of lost touch. Maybe this is a message to say, some of you already know these resources that can help you. You just need to get back in touch with them as well. If this isn't a professional association, then sometimes the Hierophant can indicate a mentor or a teacher. So if some of you, if the professional group doesn't resonate with you, or the support group, you're like, I don't know, then maybe some of you have a mentor or a teacher you need to reach out to, that you need to meet, or maybe it's someone from your past that you need to reconnect with who can help you do this. But when I say mentor and a teacher, I want to be clear, this indicates someone who's at a different level than you. This isn't reach out to a friend. This is either reach out to a large group of people, or to someone who's at a level higher than you, who you aspire to be, who you can learn from, because they may also help you with that as well. Anything else? And then of course there's the implication some of you may need a religious leader as well. Some of you that are more religiously inclined, this card to me might also indicate that a religious leader can be very helpful for you, maybe more so than you think, especially if you are in some kind of a religious community already. This can be a message to talk to a pastor or a priest or whoever that is for you in order to kind of move things forward there. Pile 3, the Hierophant can also mean as well, just to give you a few more interpretations, that maybe the reason why that this situation is taking so long to resolve is because maybe there's something that you need to learn about yourself through this experience, or maybe just some kind of skill that you need to cultivate through this experience. That you don't already have, like a skill with the legal system, but not limited to that, obviously. Yeah, there's something you need to learn to help, through this experience, or to help you fix it. If this isn't about something you still need to learn in some way in order to fix some of these things, then perhaps an alternate interpretation I can give of this that may help some of you, it doesn't feel like all of you, but may help some, is that the Hierophant can also indicate setting an example for other people. So if this experience with the imbalance isn't happening so that you can learn something about yourself, about relationships, about some kind of skill, then it could be happening so that maybe you can learn to set an example. You can learn to be the example for other people, and to teach other people how to kind of be a better person, if you will, or do these things that you need, you're trying to bring together to be more balanced. So it could also be that as well. What you're not seeing, I guess, to put it another way, is that maybe there's something for you to learn through this situation, and that you may need to set an example for the other people that you're involved in order to bring things together better. Is there anything else I want to say? Man, we've got the 7 of Wands at the bottom of the deck, which is kind of interesting because it has the word serpent on it. You know, Alice is very tall, right? So I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like something is out of balance in your life. In a variety of different ways, although it does look connected to something with really a relationship or a relationships here that is going to take more time to work out, that you need to be okay with, and to fortify yourself and seek the connections that can help to sustain you through this process of justice that you're going to be working towards. And I think that's enough. That's enough from the tarot. You can't see what you can't see, to put it more concisely, is just how much longer, right? That's kind of sad, how much longer this journey is for justice and balance in your life. and that you need to seek out mentors, teachers, or support groups that can help you through that, possibly from your past. Maybe you're not seeing another thing you're not seeing, not only that things are going to take time and you need to reach for support, but that some of your mentors, teachers, and support groups you already know. You just need to reconnect with them, because that happens a lot of times. Like, the right people are in our lives sometimes, but we just don't utilize them. So I'm also getting that message. There's a mentor or teacher possibly around, or a support group around. You just aren't utilizing them to their potential, and you aren't seeing that, and you need to reach back out. Now, the card from this deck, this is the Dream Decoder deck, is Fire. Fire, which is about dreams. It's really about dreams, not an oracle deck, but I use it that way. It says fire or fire-related images such as volcanoes, fireworks, burning, or smoking probably indicates that you're experiencing passionate emotions in your waking life. So I definitely feel like you are feeling passionate emotions about something that is not right, especially a relationship that is imbalanced, that is unfair, that is unjust, or a routine that is very upsetting. It's going to take more time. But the card says next, fire is purifying, illuminating, and the source of life. So it could suggest personal transformation or enlightenment. So what that means to me is that I do feel there's a very upsetting situation here, out of balance. Work, money could really run the whole gamut, especially in relationships that's set a fire in your life, for better and for worse, really for worse. But that the fire is ultimately this anger and this upset about all this old stuff is eventually going to bring great personal transformation and enlightenment. And by the end of this, even if it's going to take more time, and lead to a new source of life once all of this is eventually taken care of. Yeah, speaking of that, the bottom of the deck is baby and birth. If a baby appears in a dream or you give birth, this is an indication of new beginnings or creativity within yourself. Since a baby can't survive unless taken care of, the dream may be encouraging you to give more support or attention to someone or something. So I'm feeling the message from these cards is something is out of balance in your life that's created a fire within you, and not in the good kind of way. What you're not seeing is that this is going to take a lot more time to resolve than you think, and that you're going to need to reach out to connections in order to support you through it, some of which you may already know. But that once this thing is eventually resolved and fixed and done away with and burned to the ground, you are going to be like enlightened and purified and transformed so that you can give birth to a new identity, and to new creativity, and to move it forward. And right now you are really trying to you're really trying to do what you can to provide the space for that new life to be born. Okay, next I'm going to look at this deck. This is the Iris Oracle. Oh, that one wanted to come out. Interesting. We've got twin, but it's reversed. And that's funny because I don't do this deck reversed. I don't do this deck reversed. No, they're all upright except that one. So I'm going to read it reversed because it came out reversed for a reason, and it feels very significant. What else we got? Anything else for pile 3? Okay, I'm going to take these two. Maybe I'll start with the easier messages first. We've got gifts from the past. So what this means to me is that even though this journey may feel very, very long here, or maybe, which I'm telling you, to resolve this old stuff, that there will be some kind of gift that will come on the other side if you just stay with it the best that it is that you can. There will be a gift for all your struggles and for all your hardships in regards to this lack of balance or with this person, even if you don't see it yet. I know I've talked a lot about gifts in my astrology videos, if you watch those, especially with all the Sagittarius stuff going on right now, but maybe this is saying that your gifts are a bit delayed. I feel like you're the group that's a little bit of a slower group. You're either like a slow grower, if you will, or just your situations are slow, or the people that you're dealing with are slower. And it's going to take more time to resolve this stuff. But once it does, your gifts are going to come just a little bit late, but better late than never, right? And maybe they're not going to come on time, if you will, or now, because the truth needs to come out first. I mean, you've got justice in here. You've got the weight of truth. Yeah, I am getting there's a lot of stuff here that's unbalanced, especially in relationships. It's just going to take time to get to the bottom of everything. But once it does, your gifts are going to come, even if they're a bit delayed. And the last card we got here from this deck is Twin Reversed. Well, the first one we really got. And this to me ties back to the Justice. I don't know if some of you feel like you're dealing with relationships that did you wrong, that were like your twin flames, or that were like your sibling of some sort. Like maybe this is a pile for those of you dealing with those type of people, a sibling or a twin flame. But my message is like, oh, gosh, man, these are, I don't even know if I want to give this message. But either way, maybe that's just confirmation for some of you. Either way, the message is going to take more time to resolve. This is going to take more time to resolve. I mean, especially if it's a family member, right? Like family members have a weird hold on us, especially if it's a sister, you know, this or brother. It's going to take more time to like fully resolve, to make sure that, you know, you can untangle yourselves in whatever way. You know, and maybe this is a twin flame who did you wrong, and now it's time to kind of release yourself from that relationship. Or to man, I don't know if release is the word, to just settle in for the long haul. Sorry about that. Let's see if we can get any more clarity from this deck. The goal of this reading today was not to tell you why, all this stuff is going on, just to tell you what you're not seeing. Maybe I should ask why in a minute. But the cards from this deck we have are, these I will read upright, even though they came reversed. Pause. Man, you've got another one too. You've got another card about a pause, the Four of Swords. Did I see that one here? Yeah, the Four of Swords, both about pausing and resting. So this to me is another message here. You got to settle in here for the long haul. And maybe you don't see that. Another thing too is that you need to pace yourself as you go about working these things out, so that you don't get burnt out, and so that you don't get overwhelmed, and so that you can make sure that you're seeing things clearly. So this to me is another message of like slow, taking things slow may need to happen. And then we've got self-care, because this process is going to take so long to rebalance these things. I do feel like some of you need to have good self-care in the meantime. Okay. Yeah, I mean, should we ask like, why is it going to take so long to fix these old things? Goodness gracious, we've got the Nine of Cups reversed. This to me is like a lot of discontent. To me, it can also indicate like not seeing things clearly. We've got the Two of Pentacles reversed, which is like imbalances, right, which we already knew was an issue. And then we've got Judgment upright. I think it's just going to take a long time for you, just to give you more clarity on why this is taking on, because there's still a lot that's not being exposed, right? I just feel the reason why this is going to take so long is because there's just a lot that isn't being exposed, like that, like the people that you're dealing with, that they aren't offering truth to you and answers, or that or that what you need to balance yourself is so deeply hidden within yourself that you need more of the time to really get to your own truth, not only for other people to be truthful with you and speak their truth, but for you to get to your own truth. And sometimes that just takes time. It takes time to get truth because, a lot of times the truth of ourselves or other people is hidden behind so many layers, of trauma and so many layers of what we think we should do and of what looks good on the surface, that it's hard to really see what it is. So I think that's why this is going to take so long. So I think that's what I'll say there. Maybe just to repeat pile 3 before I end this, because I like to repeat, like, what I think is going on for you is that there's something majorly out of balance in your life. Could be finances, could be health related. I suppose I should throw that in there. Could be job related, but especially feels connected to relationships in some way, where something's just out of balance, or someone's done you dirty and someone's wronged you. And what you're not seeing is that this is going to take a long time here to resolve, and that you need to settle in for the long haul here, and that you need to do whatever it takes here to make this long haul more comfortable for you, and to not burn yourself out while it happens, and to seek out the connections with mentors, teachers, maybe even religious associations, or with support groups that can help you get through it in a way that you can feel good about. Another thing that you're not seeing as well is that some of these people that can support you through this imbalance, you may already know. And you may just need to reconnect with them. Another thing too that you may not be seeing is that even though this is going to take a really long time to get the answers, perhaps that you need from your own soul or from other people, that once all is said and done, that you're going to get some gifts through this. You're going to get a gift from this hard process. Your gift may come delayed, may come later than other people's because of whatever's going on here, but that it will come at the very end of this process, and that your gift, whatever it is from this hardship, for all your struggles, is going to lead to, again, some kind of new beginning in some way. Or some kind of awakening and enlightenment that's going to have you feeling much more purified and much more free, and to not give up, even if it's going to be a longer thing and you need to pace yourself. Another thing too that you're also not seeing is that you may need to take more of a traditional approach, pile 3, to fixing this thing. And by traditional, I mean you may need to go to through the court systems, if you will, to work with a person that way, or you may need to be better at like being more disciplined in some way, or do something like more traditional that's going to give you more of that stability that it is that you need. Okay, I think there's a lot of that. Right, man, that's kind of a depressing message to end on. Seeing the way things are going in the astrology, but I think this is probably a needed thing. Some people are not going to resolve everything they need to resolve this Mercury retrograde, these eclipse season, even though I like to think that would be the case. So I hope that helps, and I hope that actually gives some of you peace. I hope that gives some of you peace who know that you've got longer journeys to go, that it's okay and that it's fine, and to just buckle up and take care of yourself through this process, and to have hope that things are going to work out. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of it, and I'll talk to you on my next videos.